Hey guys, Hikaru Cosplay here. Okay, I can't do this. I pulled out one of my really old costumes that I bought years ago, but never wore. For very obvious reasons. It's made out of latex. I wore it once for 5 minutes and I had to peel it off of me. How do people do this? Anyway, today's topic, unfortunately, is not about costumes that make you want to die. No, I'm saving that for another week. Today's topic is about the benefits of mainstream cosplay. Now, cosplay years ago was not big, very little people did it, it was kind of looked down upon. Now, cosplay culture, it's seen everywhere, people celebrate it, the sheer amount of people that go to San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con grows every single year. It's incredible how mainstream cosplay is becoming. Now, with any sort of thing becoming mainstream, there are downsides to that, like social media and elitism, and my personal pet peeve, which is news people who go to Comic-Con and ask cosplayers only sex-related questions. But that's been going around for a while. That's something I will rant about in another video. Today's video is talking about the good things that come out of cosplay being mainstream. Now, I'm gonna start off by sharing a story that happened to me a very long time ago. I want to say this was I think this was 2013. So I'm gonna start this off by sharing a story from 2013. Very long time ago. Not really. Now, during this year, I had been cosplaying for quite some time, but I felt like I was really only just then starting to get good at it, so to speak. I was still buying pretty much all of my costumes, which is not a bad thing, but that's just the stage that I was at the time. And that year, I once again went to New York Comic-Con with my friends. Now, that was the year that Heroes of Cosplay was a thing. If you don't know what this is, Heroes of Cosplay was a TV show that was done by the Sci-Fi Channel. It got a lot of negative backlash. What it was is it showed very well-known cosplayers like Yaya Han, Crab Cat Studios, and a couple others as well, like Chloe Dykstra, and it showed them making costumes for competition. And there were a lot of things that were said on the show that weren't exactly great. Yaya got a lot of backlash. Nigri was portrayed a couple times, and it was shown like Yaya hated Nigri, when in reality that's completely the opposite. A lot of cosplayers were not portrayed well, and it focused a lot on drama. The thing is it was a reality show, and drama brings in viewers, so I took it with a grain of salt and took it like toddlers and tiaras and knew that sci-fi wasn't really going to portray them in the correct light. And, it's reality TV, what do you expect? And there were a lot of backlashes with the money and the competitions being fixed, but that's not what this is about. What it was, there was actually one positive thing that came out of the show, believe it or not. And it showed that cosplay was becoming mainstream. To be able to get a TV show about cosplayers was incredible. Even though it was Sci-Fi Channel, still a lot of people watched the Sci-Fi Channel. And that year at New York Comic-Con, my friends and I, during the first day, after the first day was over, we had to drop off some of my friends at Penn Station. And we were like, oh, let's take some photos in Penn Station because we've got our costumes on, we might as well. So we were taking photos, and I remember I was dressed as a human version of Puppy Cat from Bee and Puppy Cat. This little guy, and my friend was Bee. I kind of forgot what Oksana cosplay was. Lyra Bird cosplay with my Bee. But I remember us standing in Penn Station And this guy came up to us, sorry about the kid. This guy came up to us and he's like, oh my god, are you cosplayers? And we're like, yeah, you know. Like, people will often ask around New York Comic Con, oh, what's going on? Oh, is it a Comic Con? Like, you know, most people don't know the exact term unless they're really big into the scene themselves. And we're like, yeah, we're cosplayers. He's like, oh, can I take a picture of you guys? My daughter loves Heroes of Cosplay. This would make her scream. She would love this. And we're like, you know, nowhere near famous. You know, we're in our little rinky-dink costumes. We're like, hell yeah! It was actually really, really sweet, you know, just the fact that that show brought cosplay even more into mainstream than it already was. And to have, you know, a dad in Penn Station go, oh my gosh, my daughter loves Heroes of Cosplay, she loves cosplayers, can I take a photo? It was, I don't know, it was a really special moment that I will hold deep in my heart. But that's just kind of the long-winded introduction to this video. Cosplay, it's everywhere. People talk about it all the time now. You see cosplayers at movie premieres. Suicide Squad just came out and there were cosplayers all over that. And the amount of news coverage that New York Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con get is fantastic. And cosplay is supposed to be a very inclusive hobby. You know, you just can't listen to all the elitists and people say you can't cosplay this and that. But cosplay is a very open and creative hobby, and by it being mainstream is it allows more and more people to experience the benefits of cosplay. Cosplay really gave me personally a lot of confidence, as well as technical skills such as sewing and makeup and wigs and all of that, which I'm still learning. Cosplay is a constant learning process. But by it being mainstream, you know, you don't get made fun of all the time. You get people coming into the hobby who may not have even thought about it. You know, you get a growing community, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. By shutting out newcomers, that's never a good mentality to have. And another thing about cosplay being mainstream is you get businesses possibly tailoring to it. There was a car commercial that included cosplayers in it. I mean, wig companies, you get companies like Arta and Epic Cosplay who are growing in size. You get better products, you get stuff that's tailored to us, and Joann's and their cosplay fabric line with Yaya Han and their patterns. You get patterns that you don't necessarily have to modify, which is fantastic for sewing. While the cosplay fabric line wasn't exactly the best, there are some good fabrics out of it. I just find it a little overpriced personally, but if that's what you want to use, then fine, so be it. But it's actually, I don't know, it's kind of incredible that something that started off so small and so underground has just grown exponentially. You know, a lot of people may see that as a negative, like, oh, you know, you're not really into it, oh, you just want it for the attention, oh, you just want it to be sexy, and just let people cosplay the way that they want to cosplay. If someone wants to make their costume, don't make fun of them for that. I mean, yeah, making fun of someone who made their costume, believe it or not, sometimes it happens. Maybe not bullying, but stuff, you know, comments are said. If someone wants to buy their costume, then so be it. Leave it be. You know, we have craftsmanship contests for a reason. We have impersonation contests for a reason. Just don't shut people out. Be inclusive. I don't know, it warms my heart to see younger people getting into cosplay and, you know, trying something new with creativity and letting their confidence soar. And honestly, cosplay is really not that negative of a hobby. It's what you make out of it. If you're gonna put drama and negativity into it, that's what you're gonna get. But if you put in positivity and, you know, good times with friends, that's what you're gonna get. It's what you make of it. And by cosplay becoming mainstream, it only serves to benefit cosplayers, like with product stuff, and it makes regular people aware of cosplay. You know, it doesn't have to be a stigma anymore. You don't have to be made fun of for it anymore. And that's really what the benefits of mainstream cosplay is it's by being mainstream, there's a social acceptance now. You know, people aren't looked down upon as much for cosplay. Yeah, you've got normal people who are like, oh, I don't get it, da da da. But the more and more cosplay grows and the more popular it becomes, it'll become more and more socially acceptable. And honestly, that's a good thing. This is probably a rambled mess of a vlog by this point, but I don't know, I'm happy that cosplay has grown and that this little hobby is huge. I mean, even when I started in 2008, it was big, but it wasn't this big. And it's refreshing to have it grow and to be able to find wigs and fabric and base costumes and whatever have you so much easier. It makes the hobby a little less frustrating, which is nice. And cons, you know, you don't have to travel 1,500 miles to go to a con. There's a local con, like 15 local cons cropping up in my area alone every year, and it's actually really nice, you know, to have so many small conventions. It's nice. It brings in people who may not have thought about this hobby, brings in more people, and, you know, allows comic books and video games and all of that to grow even more. And it's also really great for business too. Like, some people have said, oh, cosplay, it's not good for the young people, they're just living in a fantasy. Cosplay brings in so much revenue for a lot of businesses, and so do conventions as well. A lot of towns get a lot of revenue from conventions. I mean, look at how much money transactions go on at San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con. It's incredible. Now, it's not, you know, that way for every single con, but just don't knock it till you try it. You know, you're one of those people who's just like, oh, cosplay's too mainstream now. No, that's a good thing. Not everything that's mainstream is bad, and cosplay still has a very long way to go before it's completely mainstream, but it's definitely good that it's grown so much, that it's become such an amazing hobby. If you guys want me to talk about the negative things of cosplay being mainstream, let me know. Sorry, once again, most of my vlogs are pretty random thoughts, but can't help rambling what I feel and how I feel. So thanks for watching my video, and if you haven't cosplayed before, I highly suggest you do it. Not for peer pressure or anything, and if you do cosplay, take a step back, appreciate how big cosplay is, because when cosplay started off, it wasn't easy. It was really weird. You know, normal people looked at it, down upon it a lot. And I don't know, just to see it become so big and for it to become so widely accepted is really nice. And so treasure that. Treasure that, new and young cosplayers. I know I do. Thank you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.